I bought another tablet. NVIDIA Shield tablet K1, the ultimate tablet for gamers. Well, the thing is, this tablet has a built-in screen recording. It's made for gamers, so they can play games and record it and upload it, or even live view it on Twitch and stuff like this. But for me, this is also very nice, sweet and good, because I used to work with this one, Samsung Galaxy Tablet A. And then as a screen recorder, you can either use ADV Screen Recorder or ADV Screen Recorder, one of these two. I always use this one. I'm very dark now because of all this light. I have a spooky face. Because this is separate software, it takes a lot of processor time. That's why it cannot be fast. So what I can record with this combination is 720p HD, not the largest of the largest, but that's okay. But it only records like 10 frames per second. And it's very irregular, like then 3 frames, 1 frame, 8 frames, 3 frames and stuff like this. And even that will not be such a big problem. The biggest problem is that the timing is not correct. So what I have to do is, when I have recorded on this tablet, I have to manually correct everything. Luckily, when you record this, you can see this in my videos. I say like this, record. I say record, all right? Then it starts recording. What you get to see is this little box, and you can drag it where you want it. And now I put it here because this is a blank space in the DJI Go app. So when you click on here, over here, there is a time code running. That makes it able for me to synchronize it with the real time. Because when this screen recorder file speeds up, this timer also speeds up. So what I have to do is I have to look like, where's 1 minute? Then I have to cut the file and put it exactly at 1 minute. Then I have to go to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and I have to do this all over the file. And in general, it's quite good when I think every minute. On some positions like launching, it's still not good, and I have to adjust that as well. And that's just a painful, time-consuming, not necessary at all job that I have to do every time with every video I record with the Phantom. This baby is going to change my life. It's going to make my life so much easier. Because it has a built-in screen recorder. What you do, and now I will record this as well. I go to here, and then there is share. You see that? And then record. And what I will do, I will show you. You have the settings here, and I put this off, the status, but I will put this on, and I will choose detailed, because then you can see what it is doing. And now I will start recording. Start recording. So now this thing is recording my screen, right? But what you can see in the top of here, it says 1080p, 31 frames per second. That's more than I need. I need 25 frames per second. That's good for me. But it records in 31 frames per second, so that's like real time. And I just hope that when the DJI app is running, that it will still record this much. And I can only know this by trying this out, of course. But if it does, then I never have to manually correct all these screen recordings anymore, because this thing is just fast enough to do it. It's meant to record games which are very processor intensive, you know, and graphically intensive. So it must be able to handle the DJI Go app as well. It just means I can easier and quicker release the videos that I do. So this is just like, I had to have this tablet. And one of you viewers pointed it out to me. you know, so that's highly appreciated. Your input is very welcome. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have known. I cannot know everything. What you even can do with this is, you can see that over here. There's a little screen, and there's a camera here, and then you can record yourself. I don't know if I want that. I don't know if you guys want that, but I can have the DJI Go app and record my face. I can just talk while, you can see me talking while everything is happening. When I have goggles, I don't know if it's so interesting. I don't know if I'm going to use this. Maybe we will try it out one time or something like this and then see if this is successful or not. So, stop the recording. The only thing is it's black, so it's gonna look a little bit weird. Black on white. This is what I have to do every time. So I have a little project here in Adobe Premiere, my video editing software. And this is the screen recording from the Samsung Galaxy tablet, from ADV Recorder. And I make a sequence called screen recording, and I put this file there. And it's recorded in 720p, so I have to enlarge it 150%, so it is going to be full screen. Then I'm going to unlink video and audio, and I go to the end of the file, like 11 minutes over here. So I'm going to look exactly at the position. Oh, you cannot see this. Here you guys can see it. This timer is over here. So I have to go frame by frame. And now I have 11 minutes. So what I do, I make a cut in the video over here. And then I go to 11 minutes in the timeline, like this. And then I put the video over there, and then I stretch the video like this. So now it's 98.93%. That's the speed of this, because it's a little bit slower. And then I do the same thing basically for every minute. But first I will do the middle of this file at 5 minutes. So I'm going to search for 5 minutes at the timer, and that's about here. There it is. And you see it's more than half a minute off. It's 35 seconds away from the right place. So if I cannot use it like that, because then it's just not in sync. So I go to 5 minutes in the timeline, and now I stretch this part and that part, and now this is going to look better. And in general, in the beginning, it's always very, very bad timing. So here I'm at 50 seconds. I make a cut at 50 seconds. And you can see the timer is at 19. So in the beginning it's always very bad. So I go to 50 seconds in the timeline and stretch it and stretch it. You see? And I have to do that every time for every screen recording. If I put it right at every minute, it still is not enough. If I want to do it right, I have to do it at every half minute, and at crucial points where I use the video in my final video. Sometimes I even have to go to a specific time, like, oh, it's a little bit off, and put it right. It's a lot of work, but I have to do this, otherwise I cannot show the screen recording. I hope all that is going to change from now on. And even, you know, with the Phantom 4 Pro, with the new screen, the bright screen, I hope I can switch those actually, because I don't know if that screen will be fast enough to do the screen recording. And alright, it's a bright screen, it's nice, but most of the time I use the goggles, so I don't look at the screen anyways. So I will have to see what screen I'm going to use in the end, whether it's the DJI one or this K1, but this K1 looks very good. Thank you. Bye bye. We love you. Hi guys, I'm back from a long day recording. Yeah, I know. I look crazy with this hat and stuff, but I told you, I worked all day, I'm tired, and I have to do this video. I'm looking at the footage that I made today, and this is the first day that I used the NVIDIA Shield K1 tablet. So I want to know how and if this records better than the Galaxy Tab A in combination with a software screen recorder. I have a timeline over here. This is the screen recording, and this is top secret footage, by the way. You're not supposed to see this. This is from an upcoming video, but if you don't tell anybody, okay, you can have a sneak peek preview. The first thing that you can see over here, it says it recorded 29.56 frames per second, so like 30 frames per second, and that is a lot more than the Galaxy Tab A. I think, but I should have a look at it. Okay, I'm gonna have a look at it. Whatever. So I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna open an old project, and you can see over here, this is the screen recording from the Galaxy Tab, and it says 12.7 frames per second. So when I'm gonna double click this one, let's see, it doubles frames a lot. So it has less than half as many frames as from the NVIDIA Shield tablet, and it doubles frames a lot. Yeah, for instance, over here you can see these are two different frames, but now I'm going to the next frame. It's the same. It's the same. And now it's so it has three the same frames. And now this one, this is 1, 2, 2. This is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So it has alternative to the same frames, 3 the same frames. Even though it says it has 12.7 frames per second, it doubles them a lot. So in fact it's more like 5 frames per second that you get. Now when we go to the new project, and I'm gonna have a look at this one that says that it has 29, about 30 frames per second. When we're gonna have a look at this shape, then it says 1 frame, next frame, next frame, double, next frame, next frame, next frame, next frame, double, next frame, next frame, next frame, next frame, next frame, next frame, double, next frame, next frame, next frame, next frame, double. So once every 4 frames it doubles the frame, which is much less than from the other one. So it has a lot more frames. It has 30 frames per second. It does double frames sometimes, but it does that much less frequently than the Galaxy Tab A. Because this is 30 frames per second, and once in a while it doubles a frame, it has like 25 frames per second. But is it in sync with the real time? Because it does double frames sometimes. I got 30 frames per second instead of 25 frames per second. So you also compress the frames a little bit, and that's maybe why it will show double frames, or it's a little bit tricky because it needs to be converted to 25 frames, because everything else I shoot is 25 frames per second. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I go to my timeline, and this is what is gonna happen. I put my DJI footage over there. I put it on top of my screen recording, and the DJI footage is flawless, except after 4 GB, but the files have every single frame. I have never ever seen a double frame. It's flawless. So that's a good starting point to see if the screen recording is good too. So what I do, it's almost perfectly lined up. I go to the beginning and I put the opacity of the DJI footage at 50%, and then I can perfectly see whether this is in the same position or not. This is almost in the same position. I think it's 1 or 2 frames out of sync, but for now that's okay. So what I do, I cut the screen recording over here because that's in sync with the beginning, and then I go to the end of the footage, of the DJI footage, and that's going to be here, this one, and then you can see that this is not in sync. You see, if I look up exact same spot in the screen recording, that is the last frame of my DJI footage of this file, because there's a little bit more, then it's at this position. So I cut the screen recording over here too, and then what you can see is that the DJI footage is a little bit longer, right? It's like 5 seconds, wow, and 12 frames on footage of 21 minutes shorter. So the screen recording from the NVIDIA Shield K1 tablet misses frames too. It doubles frames, but it misses frames too, and can happen. So in order to get it perfectly sync, what I have to do is I have to put the last part of the screen recording at the end. So now these two are in sync, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to press R from stretch, and now I'm going to stretch this footage until it fits. So now the beginning and the end are the same from screen recording and DJI footage. Now what I can do, I go to the middle, like over here, or just over here some point. I can just choose whatever. This one is a good one because it has a red beacon in the footage, so that is easily to be spotted. And now let's see if this is in sync too. And as you can see, it's not completely in sync. I have to estimate it a little bit. So I'm going to cut it over here. I'm going back to this position, and I'm going to stretch this, and it's almost perfectly good. That is like 1 second out of position in the middle. So I line it up here. You can see some ships over here. And I have to do this like on 2, 3 more of these positions. And then it's almost perfectly aligned. It's like 1, 2, 3 frames out of sync all over the footage. And that is amazingly good. It's not flawless. I would have hoped that it would have been flawless, that I can just take the file and it would be just 100% good. That will be easiest. It's not like that, but it is a lot better. A lot better. So, am I gonna return the tablet because it's not good enough? No, I think I'm gonna keep it. I still think it saves me a lot of time. The only thing is I think I have to spray it white, maybe. I don't know. Nah, I'm not gonna turn it back. I'm crazy. This is like 4 times better and I think 10 times less work. For sure, I'm gonna keep this. Okay, bye guys. See you on the next video. Oh, that's gonna be some exciting footage. This. Oh boy, I cannot tell you anything, but you'll have to watch yourself.